It's the Guardian series.
Alright, we have to do that time thing. We have to follow where this guy goes. He jumped?
Please fall off the ledge.
Oh my god.
Oh, he did.
That was suicide.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Infinity Well. I am Larry Stahl, coming at you with part 5 of the Avengers Week series. This is going to be the last of the character videos up until we can talk about Endgame. And so for this episode we are going to be talking about Hawkeye and Black Widow, which are the two sort of unsung heroes of the main Avengers team, the original 6 from the movies. And the reason I wanted to do these two together was, first of all, because I was trying to figure out how to start this from the beginning of the week and get up to Endgame and cover all the characters. But their origins are also sort of intrinsically tied. Before we get into the video, I'd like to give a big shout out to the Facebook group I Freaking Love Marvel Comics. A bunch of great people over there, and I highly recommend you check that out. The link will be in the description below. And on top of that, the Avengers Week giveaway that I've got going on right now. If you comment and guess correctly or get the most correct comment of how Avengers Endgame will end, you will win a free digital comic to Avengers No Road Home #1, which can be redeemed on the Marvel Comics app. And so to sort of get into this, Hawkeye and Black Widow, their origins in the books are sort of muddy. Hawkeye traveled around with a circus, sort of using his tricks and things to gain money, and decided to go down a life of crime, and he originally started off as a villain. And it was the same way with the Black Widow, who was originally a Russian spy who ended up becoming a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent. She was raised and trained in the Red Room with a bunch of other female assassins. They both have origins that lead to them being villains and then slowly becoming heroes over time. Of course, that is sort of different in the MCU. Black Widow comes from villainous origins, whereas Hawkeye has seemingly been a good guy from the start. And so, of course, Hawkeye's real name is Clint Barton, and we have Black Widow, whose real name was Natalia Romanoff. She was, of course, primarily Russian, and actually in all of, well, most of the animated shows and video games that she appears in, she has a Russian accent. But ever since the movies kind of came out, she kind of has dropped the accent, and nobody really speaks of it anymore. So those two characters, they went from villains to heroes and eventually joined the team around the time Captain America had joined, or at least Hawkeye did, and then Black Widow came a little bit later. But the reason that I think that these two characters are so great is because they don't really have any special powers. You know, Hawkeye is just a really good shot, and Natasha is just a really good spy. But when you put those two on the team, you know, they're actually worthy of working alongside all of these other superpowered characters, and I think that's one of the most interesting traits that they can have. I absolutely love the two characters, especially in the MCU, and the character of Clint Barton Hawkeye, who also becomes Ronin in the movies and in the books. I'm more of a fan of Hawkeye than I am Black Widow. But I can definitely say that the two are worthy members of the Avengers. And so when it comes to their characters in the MCU, they have definitely been fleshed out. Hawkeye's origins in the MCU kind of tie back to the Ultimate Universe of Marvel, Marvel 1610, where essentially Clint Barton had a family and he was an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. and he was kind of trying to keep that a secret from people because he didn't want that information getting out and his family potentially getting hurt. And of course they did in the Ultimates too. And when it comes to Black Widow, her comic book origins are actually more or less tied in with her classic origins. Of course, she actually started off as a Iron Man villain, which I think is very cool that they introduced her into the MCU in Iron Man 2. I just think that that's a really cool touch. But yeah, so the two characters, their journeys in the MCU have sort of been leading up to having like a family or a second family. For Hawkeye, it's him kind of being like the human of the team, the most human, the one that's not as like detached from regular people. And we see that in Age of Ultron when we go to his family house. And then with Natasha, she's always kind of trying, I wouldn't say to prove herself, but she's always kind of trying to make herself to be a better person. Of course, you know, she says in the first Avengers movie she has red in her ledger and she's trying to get rid of it. And so their paths in the MCU, which way are they going to go? Well, when it comes to Black Widow, I have a good feeling that she is going to be done. Just when it comes to the actual actress Scarlett Johansson, she has a family now. She doesn't have as much time to be running around in all these Marvel movies all the time, and I could totally understand that. And not only that, but she's sort of been there from the beginning. And when it comes to Hawkeye, we're not really sure what's going on with that yet, just because we know that he has a Disney Plus streaming service show coming up where he's going to be training Kate Bishop to become the new Hawkeye. And so I'm kind of curious as to like where that show is going to take place, and whether it's going to be after Endgame or before Endgame or something like that. So when it comes to Hawkeye, I'm truly not sure exactly what's going to go on with him. But if I were to recommend some sort of book that sort of shows them at their greatest potential, and also for fans of the MCU, because I remember this book came out when the first Avengers came out for like new readers to jump onto. It would be Avengers Assemble by Brian Michael Bendis and Mark Bagley. It collects issues 1 through 8. The first trade paperback does, and it's essentially just a team-up story with the Avengers and the Guardians of the Galaxy against Thanos, and I feel that that is very timely for Endgame. I'm very excited to see what they end up doing with these two characters in the Endgame movie, because there's a lot of different places that you could definitely take them. And also with Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow solo movie coming up, who the hell knows what's happening. But anyways, that being said, I will leave a link in the description below for a Amazon link to this book. And if you like this video, please feel free to like and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this one. Again, I would also like to plug I Freaking Love Marvel Comics Facebook group. Their link will be down in the description below as well. And that'll be about it for today. I'm very excited to see Endgame, and by the time everybody is seeing this, I will be seeing Endgame the next day at 7:30 at night, and so I'll be doing sort of like a late live stream on all that, but I can't wait to get my thoughts out there. So anyways, thanks everybody for watching. This is Larry Stahl from the Infinity World coming at you to say, face front, true believers, this is the end of the video.